so let's see what else is in this shoebox. Okay, that's cool. Some sort of a Punisher badge. I'm not sure if the Edge used to be a games manufacturer, maybe. Don't know if this potentially relates to a computer game that I got at a computer show or something like that. Oh, something looks suspiciously like Mousepoo who's just filled out one of these badges, which I'm not particularly pleasant, but I'm not particularly surprised about since they've come down from an attic. This is a badge of the old Wembley with the famous Twin Towers. I'm not quite sure when this will have come from. I did once go to see a football game at Wembley. It was some sort of final where Enfield Town were playing somebody or the other. I think that was the one time I really went to Wembley. Though I know my sister went a couple of times on like school trips just to look around the grounds and the buildings. Happy birthday, Brookfield Farm. Not too sure about that one. You can see there's a Ghostbusters 2 badge in the back of here. You can see. It says Activision on, so this is to do with a computer game, because Activision used to be a software development house, I guess you call them. Again, another badge from Wembley, Wembley Magic. Not too sure what that is. Looks like a tyre off a toy car or something. Maybe put that back for a minute. Say No to Strangers from McDonald's. A silly character. Badge saying Fonzie's cool. That's a bit of a blast from the past. With a young Henry Winkler on it. Dinosaur World, Colwyn Bay. Oh, that's cool. 007 badge. This must be from the film Octopussy, due to the shape of the logo. That's very cool. So Roger Moore is James Bond. Very much enjoyed this James Bond film as well, because it had Maud Adams, who, when I was a kid, had a bit of a crush on her. Eagles Rule. I'm not too sure about that. Whether that relates to Crystal Palace Football Club, maybe? Not sure. Maybe you've got Hannibal out of the A-Team, which I very much enjoyed watching as a kid. So I'm not sure how old that badge will be. These are cool. I've got a feeling I actually bought these badges when I was well, I've certainly bought them more recently. I don't know if I bought them maybe when I was travelling abroad and they were just some cheap versions that I saw and thought were quite cool. So this is obviously for the Platoon film, and this is Ryu from Street Fighter. So quite cool. So these seem to be maybe Guinness cufflinks or something along those lines, which are quite nice, but again, not sure where they came from, because I don't think my dad was a big Guinness drinker. Here we've got a badge of B.A. Baracus to go with the Hannibal one. A Final Fight badge for Super Nintendo. So that's a long time ago. I think one year I went to like a computer fair, and that's where I've got all of these badges from. It's nice. Mario Kart badge, pin badge. Not sure where I've got that from. Whitbread cufflink. My granddad used to work for Whitbread. When my dad was very young, they used to live next door to the Whitbread brewery, and I think it was Hackney or somewhere like that. So yeah, most of my dad's family used to work for them. Badge from the Natural History Museum. Triceratops. When I was a kid, I was very much into dinosaurs, as most kids are really, at a certain age anyway. Happy Empire Day. Not really sure what that obviously, it's got a picture of Darth Vader, and I assume this is a Star Wars badge, but I'm not quite sure when Empire Day's. I don't think it's like May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. That's more like a Jedi Day, isn't it? Really. Super Shell. Shell Petrol. I'm not sure that's super. I am 6. So 40 years ago, that badge. Transformers, Decepticon, Galvatron. I think this has probably come off a birthday card as well. God. Manga Mania. So there used to be a comic in the UK called Manga Mania, which had things like Akira and Appleseed in, which I used to read. And I assume that's just come off the cover of that. The Banana Bunch. I think it was like a series of books. Back when I was a kid. Okay, so I think I'll just take a quick break there just to tidy up the table a bit up on all the dirt and grot that's falling out of this box, and then I'll get back to continue looking through this shoebox. Okay, so let's continue looking through the shoebox. So you can see we've got a Rubik's Cube there. Never particularly a fan, I'll be honest. So bits and bobs from board games, long since forgotten about, like old Checkers or something like that. See, these are broken bits off. This is off a GoBot. This wing, and this foot, I think, might be off Jazz Transformer as well, maybe. So these are more good. These are kind of the armour off Jetfire, which you may remember from an earlier episode. So that's good. We'll put that together. Another bit of armour off Jetfire. Even better, his gun, Jetfire's gun, so we can reunite them. Again, another bit of armour from Jetfire. This is kind of like used to be like a watch, but it was also kind of a transformer as well. Well, it's not a transformer, it's not a branded transformer, but you know, it's like a transforming robot that was also a watch. I mean, you can't really change the batteries, and the batteries are long dead in this, but yeah, it's quite cool. I think I've got one of these as well that transforms into from a watch into like a plane. We'll find that later. Just a bit of rubbish. So I think this and possibly this comes from Nautilator, which was one of the robots transformers we found in an earlier episode. I think this may have just come out of a Christmas cracker or something like that. It can probably be bin, to be honest. Another badge from Ipswich Town. Like I say, I don't know if my dad collected these going around the grounds, because I know he wasn't a fan of Ipswich Town. He was very much a fan of Spurs, but I'm not sure where we got these badges from otherwise. This PCC badge again. I think Dad brought this back from when he worked in Thailand. In fact, I think it may have been given to him, because I think he might have been like a freebie from the airlines. You know, back in the days when it used to get good stuff on the airlines. Sadly, not nowadays. There we go. There's a badge for Tottenham Hotspur's Supporters Club. That would have very much belonged to my dad. A badge for Lynx Atari. The Lynx used to be a handheld computer system, which I think was actually pretty good back in the day. I think it had more power than anything Nintendo or Sega had out at the time. It was pretty good, but I don't know, maybe the games were quite limited, and yeah, it wasn't one I could afford or wanted really. Okay, this is the kind of the chest piece from Ultra Magnus. Always thought it looks a little bit like a little spaceship on itself, and this would be a seat, but I don't think it was ever appeared as such in any of the cartoons. There's a bit of coral which has come from somewhere. A badge again. This might be a computer game developer. Broken bit of something, probably a transformer of some kind. I think this might be the gun. I think this might be Springer's gun. If you remember the Transformer Springer, which we had in a previous episode, I think this might belong to him, so it's good to find that. Ultra Magnus's head. A missile and a gun from, I think this belonged to one of the vehicles. Well, I think they all belong to the vehicles of G.I. Joe Action Force that we found earlier. I think these might belong to Ultra Magnus, maybe. Ultra Magnus is, I think he has like shoulder cannons or whatever. I think they might belong to that playset. This is from this and this, both from a Star Wars canon. I think it's like a Hoth playset that the sort of snow stormtroopers would use. So I'm going to put that back in the big box, and then we'll put the set together all together in future. This belongs to another Transformer who I can picture, but I don't know his name, so I'll reunite them again. I'm not too sure about this one. I believe this one is Ultra Magnus's gun. These are Ultra Magnus's kind of hands. Not too sure about this one. Again, I think it's a Transformer gun, but not sure which one. There's some stickers belonging to a Transformer, obviously an Autobot, but I'm not sure. Not sure who that will be. Here's some used stickers, so I've obviously stuck them on, and some more unused stickers. This is from the this is the wing of the GoBot that we brought out in the previous episode. It's kind of an A-10 Warthog airplane. Unfortunately, the pin must have been lost or broken, which kept the wing on. But it's good we found that anyway. So I believe these are Muscle Men. I think they just came in sort of packs of 3 or something along those lines. Can't really remember much about them, but as a kid it was just another thing to collect really. This is a missile from the Action Force boat set. I believe this may have come off the Cobra helicopter maybe. This is a gun. This is Nautilator's gun, I believe. Not too sure about this. I feel there's gonna be like a Transformer who's a truck, flatbed truck, and this kind of clips onto the back somewhere, but I can't think which one it is at the time. These were kind of these Munch Bunch type toys that we. Oh well, it's a pencil topper. We used to have loads of these at school. And obviously, this is just one I haven't thrown away. This is Grimlock's sword, I believe. That's good. I'm able to reunite them. That's another missile from Ultra Magnus, maybe. So a random cufflink. A little dagger. Here we can have, two arms, the left and right arm of C3PO. Not quite sure where the rest of him is, but hopefully we should find him in another box maybe. These are power balls. We used to have these at school until allegedly they got banned because they keep hitting people in the eyes when they rebounded pretty violently. So yeah, allegedly they were banned. I think this is an arm off the broken Jazz. I think I swapped him for a friend. So I got him off a friend in a swap. I think he was always in quite a bad state, to be honest. So this is one I broke myself. Happy birthday. Looks like a house from maybe Monopoly or something like that. This comes off an old, like a truck toy. This looks like a turret off some sort of or a gun off a Transformer tank type thing. Which I'm not sure if I found yet or not, but I'll put that to one side. I believe these all come from a set of toys called Links. They're like a kind of a building block set, kind of something kind of akin to Lego, and never really kind of took off like Lego did really. Probably just because it's not as flexible as Lego really, and not as versatile. You can see a Blue Peter badge. I'm a Blue Peter Weather Beater. Not sure where they got that from. I don't know whether to keep that or not really, in case I find what I should have gone into. Maybe I will for now, I think. And I'll keep these tyres as well, just in case they prove to be something useful. A half franc, back in the day when France had the franc instead of the euro. I think everything else I may just pop straight in the bin. Maybe I'll keep that just in case that's important. I think this is the broken wheel off Jetfire. I think Jetfire had a broken wheel. I think that's it there. I think everything else we can probably just consign to the bin at this time.